I am Noriko Bullford, and this is Uncut News. Fire season has started again, and this time it's massive. On Saturday, 3 separate house fires in Region 4 left around 35 persons homeless. The first fire started in Mahika around 4 a.m., the second one in Kitty around 6 a.m., then again at 11 a.m. on Cemetery Road. Multiple fire tenders were brought in to fight the massive fire there. That fire actually ended up gutting 3 houses, including the popular soup restaurant in Castello housing scheme. It is believed that all 3 fires were electrical in nature, but it is still under investigation. Fortunately, no one was killed or severely injured in either fires. The case continues for Crooked Eye Pato and Bling Bling Adams. This morning, the duo pleaded not guilty to the fraud charges they are facing in connection with the $162 million Demerara Bridge feasibility study. Patterson and Adams are expected to make their next court appearance on March 1st, 2021. This morning, the family of HARESH Singh staged a protest in front of the office of the president demanding justice for their murdered loved one. During today's protest, Singh's family expressed their abject disgust at the way the police are conducting the probe, noting that the family has not been informed of any progress made. Like any at all. They basically feel like the police aren't even pretending to look for the young man's killer or killers, as they genuinely have no idea what the cops are doing now. They said that they will continue to hold similar protests until they see justice. And rightfully so. Protest until you get that justice you seek. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2018 Suzuki Swift RS Sports Edition. It comes with Bluetooth, CD stereo, steering controls, crystal lights, mug rims, fog lamps, and much, much more. Pay cash for $3.6 million, or pay down as low as $720,000 with around $70,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Rose Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Noriko sent you for this sweet, sweet deal. 20-year-old DeKara Gittins and 18-year-old Tanika Haley died following an accident on Homestretch Avenue early Sunday morning. Gittins died on the spot after the vehicle slammed into an electrical pole before flipping into a trench, while Haley passed away this morning while receiving medical treatment. 2 other passengers of the vehicle are currently listed in a serious condition at the JPHC. The names of the 2 injured victims have not been released, but they are friends of the victims who have passed. On Friday, police arrested a 34-year-old resident of number 72 Village Quarantine, who they accused of smuggling a busload of seafood from Suriname. The bus was intercepted at number 77 Village Quarantine when it was headed towards New Amsterdam. Customs agents escorted the vehicle to the customs department in Corriverton, where he was taken into custody. According to the police, the shrimp is currently lodged at the agency's cold storage facility. So, good for them. But honest question here though. How can they tell it was actually smuggled? What, did they check the shrimp's passport? Do the fish speak Dutch? I just don't understand. The government is preparing to audit Exxon's cost oil claims for 2017 to 2020. According to the contract, Exxon has to deduct $460,237,918 in payments to Guyana to cover expenses incurred from 1999 to 2015. This is the whole period where they just did not find any oil here. There is an additional amount of approximately $400 million for the years 2016 to 2017, which is also believed to come under the direction of Cost Oil. The last government had actually received much criticism for agreeing to these costs without an audit. Naturally, as they should, because this is ridiculous. That's around $800 million they're talking about. Digicel is celebrating their 14th anniversary this month, which means they're shaving off prices. Get the DL3 smartphone for just $14,000, or the DL3 Pro for just $17,500, plus get 30-day Digicel Prime bundle when you buy any LTE handset. Offer available at Cellular Plus Digicel stores in the City Mall, Starbucks Square, Massey Providence, and Massey Turkine. Don't miss out! Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has said that a special committee has been established to monitor side effects of those healthcare workers who received the RONA vaccines. The nation began vaccinating frontline healthcare workers on Thursday last, and so far, well over 600 persons have received the shot. The government has proposed a sum of $750 million Guyana dollars to support the rolling out of the vaccines nationwide in an aim of reaching the whole country by year's end. And speaking of the RONA, it's now time for today's RONA report. Today, the nation recorded 1 new case. Oh joy. There are now a total of 186 persons dead. there are 7 persons in the ICU and 595 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the country now stands at 8,232. So please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds. And remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Now, let's take a look at news in the region. The United States National Security Council Director for Western Hemisphere Affairs, Juan Gonzalez, stated that President Joe Biden pledges to lift the limit on remittances to Cuba and resume direct flights between the two countries. One of Biden's campaign promises was to transform Donald Trump's foreign policy towards Cuba, which only made families' lives more difficult amid the RONA pandemic. He stated his intention is actually to resume diplomatic dialogue with Havana and restaff the U.S. Embassy in Cuba, which was virtually dismantled by the Trump administration to please Florida's anti-Cuban lobby in the U.S. Congress. Although Biden's speeches so far have been positive, no actions have been taken so far, and most of the issues only remain under review status. Who said luxury can't be affordable? Move into your own home in 2021. Lenora Estates, West Coast MRR properties are within your reach. Move out of the landlord's place and put that rent money towards your own 5,000 square foot property. Call or WhatsApp 592-618-5702 or call +1 516 476 2172 for more info. The Brazilian Congress announced on Friday that priority will be given to reviving pandemic emergency payments to the vulnerable population. They expect there will be emergency aid for the months of March, April, and May, and eventually a 4th month of June. Last year's emergency measures to cushion the impact of the pandemic cost the government around 8% of the nation's GDP. More than half of that, some 322 billion reais, or about $60 billion, consisted of direct transfers to the poor. That expired on December 31st of last year, but they will be reviving it next month with monthly payments that will be around 250 reais, which is around $46. That is a reduction from the initial 600 reais a month given from July to September of last year, and then 300 reais from October to December. Speaking of which, anyone still waiting on their one-time RONA check from the government? And now for our weird news story of the day. One man serving probation after stealing surgical supplies from a hospital in San Bernardino in California was arrested on Thursday on suspicion of trying to break into the same facility yet again. 54-year-old thief Roy Chai Wing Long was taken into custody on suspicion of attempted burglary and violating his probation. He was caught and identified by the security guards at the center since they recognized him from the last time he stole from them last year. Long was convicted of burglary in June and was placed on probation. Long was held at the West Valley Detention Center on Sunday in lieu of a $25,000 bail. Now that's $25,000 US. You see, they actually knock you with some real bad bail over there so you don't end up going back on the streets unlike here. How's this for a bedtime story? Stupid Bill spends thousands of dollars on new printer ink. Sensy Bill, on the other hand, refills his empty cartridges at Print for Less for just $1,000. He gets a 6-month, 100% money-back guarantee on every refill. Then the bucket band, and the story ends. Call or WhatsApp 667-0066 or visit them on Facebook at Print for Less Guyana. Don't be a stupid Bill. Moving on to our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Friday's question was about the budget. What things were you looking forward to seeing in it? Darshan Cecil said, free university-level education. Jay Jairam said, the government should include more stimulus money for the people in the budget. This time it should be higher than the previous $25,000. I agree fully. And finally, Peter Hoodless said, I would like to see in next year's budget that the government regularly placing adverts on Guyana Uncut News, as I and thousands of others like me really do enjoy Guyana Uncut News and other content from this channel. We really do appreciate the love, Peter, but if we at Uncut took the government's money, then we'd be sellouts. I know it may sound a bit rude, but remember, you can't bite the hand that feeds you, and I like to speak freely. Good answers, people. Before we get to tonight's question, these online shopping places take their eyes and pass people a set of money they want per pound of merchandise. You will die when you try to ship parts for your truck. Thankfully, truck parts are already in Guyana at Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts at Lot 1161 EE Eccles. They stock spares for DAF, Bedford TM, international freight liners, and Cummins engines. Call or WhatsApp 697-0171 or follow Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts on Facebook. So for tonight's question, Biden is not only considering reversing sanctions against Cuba, but also Venezuela. How do you feel about it? Is it a good thing, or do you think he'll just put us more at risk from an attack from our neighbors to the west? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in Tuesday's episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Enrico Bulford saying good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.